So after the, hear that? The Crow. Remember the movie The Crow? Brandon Lee. He certainly didn't get a lot of time in show business. But I'm here in Florida, and I'm sitting on a plain runway, a small plain runway in Daytona. And, after the long 10-hour drive, I'm now Florida man. I am the Florida man. Okay? I was Florida man long before I lived in Florida. Always a little bit crazy. You have to be crazy to be in the music business, right? So, after that 10-hour drive, and, it always seems like every time I have to do a road trip, a long road trip, the last hour is what I call white knuckle fever, or white line fever, because it always seems like there's either extreme traffic or really bad weather. And, in my case, it was really bad weather this time. And a palm frond struck the U-Haul so loud. It was like, it's just one of those moments where you're like, oh God, what happened now? And it was like hurricane winds, and torrential rain. Florida is one of those places where the rain just erupts. And but in Florida, the rain erupts, but it usually ends pretty quickly. You get these little summer rains, and they come and they cool things down for a little bit, and then the heat comes back. So it's going to take me a while to adjust to the heat here in Florida, and but it can't be any hotter than playing a festival, say, in Florida or Arizona or California, and having the stage lights blasting on a hot summer sunny day, a day when you probably don't need them. They're on anyway, and that's sometimes how things go in life. I can remember playing many shows, extremely hungover, having played late the night before, and then getting on the bus, at midnight or 1 a.m, 2 a.m, even sometimes, maybe even 3, the bus takes off. And you're not doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And you have a few too many pops. And now it's noon, and you're somewhere extremely hot, and you're playing outside. And you're just trying to not puke while you're playing. Now, I'm going to have you know that we are sitting on a plane runway, and there's a plane that's probably coming in to land. And that's part of the cool little place that I am. And I'm going to give a shout out to John for letting us have this temporary digs, and being able to have a place to land for a minute. This is a little area I'm in. It's called the Eagles Landing. And our eagle is landing, and the eagle has landed, right? I can remember being a kid and, taking a guitar lesson, and a van pulls up, and phone rings, and the teacher answers the phone. Does this mean the eagle has landed? Eagle has landed. That used to be like term for perhaps something has shown up that you don't want to announce has shown up. And you say, the eagle has landed. So it's a code. It's a code. But here, you've got real planes, about to land. And just like we landed in Florida, and man, I am getting eaten up with bugs out here. It's a lot different than the front porch in Tennessee. But I think we've got a cool vibe going here, and we're going to continue this series. We made it to Florida. We're not in our permanent spot, and we're eventually headed to Tampa, and that's where we're going to set up shop. And I should be able to get my studio fully running, get back to doing my work on air gigs. So if you have any tracks you want me to play on, my own way of playing, and I play for the song. I play whatever style that the song needs. I don't care if it's hair metal or blues or folk or, alternative. You play for the song. That's what you do. And, sometimes it requires a really great tone and a relaxed feel. And sometimes it needs a chaotic feel. There was a recent post by a well-known YouTuber, and he was talking about intermediate guitar players and, how they sound rushed and they sound chaotic. But sometimes, if you're playing a Nashville session, you don't want to sound rushed and chaotic. But man, not everybody wants to sound like a Nashville recording session. I certainly didn't when I moved to Nashville. I gained great respect for Nashville session players after living here, after having been on a Nashville session, and seeing how hard it is to take a crappy song and try to make something good out of it. It's extremely hard what they do. But what they do is not the be-all, end-all of music. And I would not want a Nashville pro, necessarily playing on my punk album, or necessarily playing on my hair metal album, or necessarily playing on some really edgy music. So all feels are relevant, all styles are relevant, and all players are relevant. And you don't have to play like a Nashville session player on everything. It's just not necessary. But, I can play yacht rock. I can play, all kinds of different styles of music. And I have played lots of different styles, probably more so than some of the people that are the top session players. There may be also some melodic concepts that some of those players might not know about. I cannot do what they do the day in, the day out of, playing that way and turning these crappy songs into great songs. That's very hard. And like I said, man, hats off to those guys. They do it. They do it every day, and they they're good at it. They're very good at it. Now, I have, through my limited experience playing on Nashville sessions, and, I could say probably maybe a dozen that I've done. You find some shortcuts, and you find some ways to, what am I going to do? What am I going to play here, right? What am I going to play on this piece of, what am I going to play? I find, you take what you play, you take what you know. And, in the world of, computer music, you've got templates. And before all that, I would do the same thing with songs. And I'd go, okay, what is this? Is it Stones? Yes. Okay. I'm going to put a Keith Richards approach on it. I'm going to play, Chuck Berry style leads, Chuck Berry style fills, maybe a Chuck Berry style rhythm. Is this song, kind of atmospheric? Okay. Well, I'm going to take an atmospheric approach to what I play. Is this song, is this song, have a hip-hop beat behind it? Maybe it's the new hip-hop stuff. Okay, on that stuff, I found that playing my R&B style guitar works good. So, R&B fills, Memphis, style stuff, even some of the L.A. Paul Jackson Jr. style guitar playing. That works good on that stuff. And, there was a song I played on called Back by Cole Ford, and it had Jake Owen on on vocal and Cole Ford. And it did really well. I got to experience, we were up in, I think it was Philly, and we were playing this weird, church up there in the middle of, this city, and it's rough up there, and it's kind of crazy, and you feel like, oh shit, I'm back. It's like I'm back in New York, or I'm back in LA. And I was sitting having a sandwich before sound check at some little cafe, and they had the country music radio station on, and all of a sudden I heard Back by Cole Ford. It got some airplay, in this market. And I'm hearing my little guitar part that they kind of buried, but it's there, and I know where it is, and I'm hearing it, and it's in the track. And, I was in a position where, we got this song, and the other guitar player's playing diamonds, or, maybe I'm playing diamonds, in the chorus or whatever. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I'm like, R&B ballad, baby, R&B ballad. So I did a little, a little tight rhythmic part. And there I am up in Pittsburgh, and I'm living the dream, and I'm sitting there in this cafe, and I hear the song come on a country radio station, and I'm hearing my guitar part, and I'm like, this is it. I made it. Okay, I didn't make $1 million. I didn't make, a ton of money playing on it. I made decent money, but I'm hearing my guitar on the radio for the first time. And I had used one of my Parts Caster Strats, and it had a big, 70s neck on it, and it had a humbucker in the back, but it had some Lindy Fralin Blues Special single coils in the neck and middle. There it is. I hear my guitar on the track, and guess what? The eagle has landed. I want to thank everybody for so much support online. My career differs from a lot of the big name YouTubers. Now, there's some YouTubers that don't play any gigs, and they don't play any sessions, and they're very successful, and they don't play clubs, and they don't play any of that. Man, I have done it all because I've had to do it all, and I've had to do a lot of gigs. You know, I look at the career of like Tim Pierce, and I'm blown away by what he's gotten to do, and he absolutely deserves every bit of it. He is amazing. They are all amazing, but my career has probably been more varied than any YouTube guitar player, and I am more closer to the rest of you out there because I have had to do the crappy gigs, and I've had to ride the crappy bus, and I've had to play with bands that were on their way down and on their way up, and some that were on their way up that would eventually end up on the way down. But I have done the $50 gigs. I've done the $35 gigs. I've done all the crappy gigs that are going to make for incredible stories on this channel. So yes, now I'm in Florida, and I don't know when my first gig's going to be because this is a big state, and I'm not even where I'm going to be eventually. It's a huge state, and everybody's spread out, kind of like California, except California, you basically had LA and San Francisco, and San Diego to some extent. But a lot of the San Diego musicians would move to Los Angeles. But this is a big state, and I've got friends that work a lot in Orlando, and I've got some friends down in South Florida, and I hear South Florida is really happening. But I'm going to be in Tampa, and that's a whole different scene. I don't know. I know a couple players, actually, that are in Tampa, but they're guitar players. I'm going to reach out to them and just say, hey, let's see if we can't together make things happen and make some opportunities for each other, because together there is strength. And together on YouTube, there is strength with us together. So, you know, this is a unique thing that we're doing. And this is a unique channel because I'm a little more closer to the everyday Joe on guitar. I have been on the street level, and I've been in the club level, and I've been down in the dirt. Whereas you got a lot of YouTubers that either don't get their hands dirty at all, or they're at a very high level as far as the work that they get. And I've kind of preferred to kind of be my own boss and not be a huge deal. And it's, you know, that way I could kind of operate under the radar. But now I'm coming out of the shadows, and I'm going to let everybody know all these incredible stories and experiences and share them with you. And I'm very interested in hearing yours, because we've created a community of like-minded souls, and this community is going to do great things together. I want to thank everybody for watching. There's going to be more to come. Stay tuned. The eagle has landed.